Bruce Sterling, we're here at South by Southwest. A lot of people are here. Everyone's talking about one word, the social, or two words, the social. You're interested in language, in words. What do you make of those two words, the social?
Well, it's really interesting to see what's happened to the history of social because, social is traditionally associated with socialism. So, social networking and social media are kind of built on the bones of dead socialism. So, nobody gets up here and sort of explains, oh, well, I'm an H.G. Wells socialist, or I'm a member of a social party or the Democratic Socialist Party. And it's the absence of that former, very important meaning that allows a word like that to be sort of reshaped and then spread like axle grease over these sort of half-built gears of these new mechanisms of doing stuff. They're new, but they have continuity. I mean, I just went to like the social sharing panel here, collaborative consumption, and it was just super interesting. I mean, not that they're doing stuff that's super important, although I think some of the things they are doing are important. What was really exciting about it was to see these very old ideas recast in genuinely modern terms. It's like, no, we're not. It's not from each according to his ability to each according to his means. It's more like, oh, we got a hack for that. There's a platform. You just input your means and your abilities, and then somebody comes up and like shares it. And then you get on the leaderboard. It's just, I mean, no wonder people talk about nothing else.
But the people here are not as familiar as you are with history.
No.
Is that bad?
Well, maybe. I mean, there are historians who could really change the world. I mean, there have been historians who are revolutionaries, but, historians are generally sort of contemplative, big vision guys. They don't really go out there and knock dust off of stuff. And, every generation is surrounded by its own barbarians. If you're 15 years old, it's not realistic for you to know a lot about history. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go out and engage with stuff. Man, when you're 15 years old, you're like super energetic and incredibly bright. You're like the spearhead of the next generation, even though you're quite naive and don't really know the rules yet. But to be 15 years old is a perfectly existentially valid condition, okay? It's like amazing what these guys are up to. They just sort of charge in there and go for it.
But are you saying that they are socialists?
It's more that they're revolutionaries. If you went into Cairo or Libya or Tunisia during the recent dust-ups, you'd find just wolf packs of 15-year-old men in there. That's, not armies of them, but swarms, gangs, teen gangs of kids. So, they're making history, even if they don't understand it.
National socialism came out of socialism. Is that your fear about the right-wing hackers?
Well, I tend to classify myself as a bourgeois Democrat, so I'm keen on Constitution, civil rights, and rule of law. And, National Socialism came out of socialism, but National Socialism also came out of a massive global depression. It came out of unemployment lines and, tooth-gritting radicalism among a great many splinter sects of desperate and increasingly armed people. And, yeah, I think that's an open threat no matter what. It doesn't take Hitler to make a thing like that work. If there's no money, and especially if like young, angry guys can't get a woman or find a roof, man, there could be hell to pay under circumstances like that.
And might that come out of what's happening in the Middle East?
Absolutely. I mean, I wouldn't say they're going to turn into a national socialist movement. I don't think that's really their situation. But there have been a lot of fascist parties in Arab politics, like the Phalangists in Lebanon. It's not, I mean, a state fascism or a national social movement, maybe. I mean, the right is all over Europe now. There's plenty of Nazi parties. Everybody's got some Nazis. There's always some appeal to ideas like that.